personally am a huge fan of monthly paying dividend stocks, and I own tons of them across my portfolio. I've even went so far to make the argument that monthly paying dividend stocks, or even stocks or ETFs that pay dividends on a monthly frequency, are somewhat better, or at least you can argue are better in some ways than stocks and ETFs that pay dividends quarterly. Now, this is of course in the context of a dividend growth investor like myself that is looking to use their dividend income sometime in the future to live off of, or at least partially live off of. And obviously, if that's what you're solving for, monthly paying assets are going to really help you pay the bills when the bills land in your mailbox every 30 or so days. But with that, not all monthly paying dividend stocks or ETFs are created equal. And in this video, I'm going to go through 3 of my all-time favorite single stocks that pay dividends monthly that I would put on a pedestal if I had to just choose 3 across the entire markets. So if you want to see which 3 stocks these are and which are my favorite monthly paying dividend stocks, make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into the first one. Real quick, for those that haven't already, make sure to go to the first link in my description and grab my new dividend investing ebook, where I share exactly how I went from $0 invested to now earning over $6,000 on a monthly basis and over $1 million invested in the markets. Along with the ebook, you're also going to receive my custom dividend tracker, where you can track your dividend progress on an ongoing basis and reach your dividend investing goals. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. So the first monthly paying dividend stock that is definitely one of my favorites and a stock that I've been holding for years now is none other than Main Street Capital, or ticker symbol MAIN. It says right here on their website, a true financial partner, Main Street Capital, based in Houston, Texas, has helped over 200 private companies grow or transition by providing flexible private equity and debt capital solutions. Privately held businesses turn to us because we are Main Street, not Wall Street. We build relationships and tailor transactions to meet the unique needs of our portfolio companies and their owners. So Main Street Capital is a business development company and honestly one of the highest qualities across the entire market, if you ask me. If you look at their portfolio companies, they are extremely diversified. So honestly, buying into Main almost feels like you're buying into somewhat of a fund because you're getting exposure indirectly to so many different things. Now, I came across Main Street Capital several years ago when I was looking into researching different stocks or ETFs that did pay dividends monthly because, like I said, I've always been a fan of that. But Main Street Capital, unfortunately, has always been more or less a smaller position in my portfolio. I say that because Main is up substantially even over the last few years. The stock has almost doubled since 2020. And because of Main Street Capital's fundamentals and the performance of this company, this stock has not only went up in price significantly and outperformed many other single stocks and even ETFs across the market, but also Main Street Capital does pay a dividend monthly. On top of that, has paid many special dividends, which is basically an extra dividend for investors, which I've absolutely loved receiving in my brokerages. Now, Main Street Capital currently offers a forward yield of 5.88%, which might seem pretty high, but keep in mind, not all that long ago when Main Street Capital was trading much lower, the yield was over 7%. As far as things like dividend growth and other metrics, Main Street Capital doesn't have the fastest growing dividend, but like I sort of said, over the last several years, Main Street Capital has showered their investors with many different special dividends, so honestly, I think that makes up for it and then some. Now, also, Simply Safe Dividends had something interesting to say about Main Street Capital. They said, while the economic backdrop is still softening, this best-in-class Main Street Capital business development has a good track record of financing businesses with stronger credit profiles that are better positioned than most to endure recessions. The firm will also, of course, pay that dividend of 30 cents per share. Now, this is also important to add into the video because there are a ton of business development companies across the market, and there's a lot of popular names that you guys probably even hold in your portfolios, but it really just does go to show that not all stocks, not all business development companies are necessarily made equal, and there definitely are levels to this game. Now, last but not least, let me leave you with this. This is the reason Main Street Capital is so popular for good reason. Main Street Capital versus SPY, with $10,000 invested back in 2007 and dividends reinvested along the way. If you bought Main Street Capital and spent $10K, you would have ended up with $138,800 in 16.59 years, or an average annual total return of 17.19%. or a total return of almost 1,300%. SPY turned that $10K into around $45,000, which by no means is bad. SPY is still an amazing investment in my opinion, but a 9.52% average annual total return versus Main Street Capital in the same time frame is absolutely tiny compared to what investors saw as far as returns go if they were lucky enough to buy into Main early. If you're looking for one of the highest quality monthly paying dividend stocks and you don't have it already, definitely look into Main. Another one of my favorite monthly paying dividend stocks, if I were to have to choose a single stock to invest into, would be none other than ticker symbol ADC or Agree Realty. Now, Agree Realty is one of the highest quality real estate investment trusts across the entire market, has exposure to some of the highest quality tenants, and of course does pay a dividend monthly. Agree Realty has 2,161 owned and operated properties across 49 states, 45 million square feet of gross leasable area, and 69% investment grade. And honestly, I would stack up Agree Realty's portfolio as far as quality goes next to any other real estate investment trust, and I don't think you're really going to beat it. Now, Agree Realty on the max time frame is up 229.59%, with the exception that the last few years, Agree Realty has mostly traded sideways and maybe even down a little bit, but pretty much all the REITs across the market are doing this due to interest rates. But Agree Realty, in my opinion, in the long term does have the potential to grow substantially as far as price return goes, and Agree Realty does pay almost a 5% forward dividend yield, which boasts a super safe dividend that once again is paid monthly and is also getting larger and larger over time with small dividend increases historically. As far as monthly paying dividend stocks go, if I were to have to only choose a few, Agree Realty would definitely be in this bunch. Now, the final monthly paying dividend stock that I would have to choose in my bunch of three, if I were to have to choose only three, would have to be none other than Realty Income, ticker symbol O. Now, Realty Income is one of my personal largest holdings across my 7-figure portfolio, which I think I have as of right now around $150,000 worth of Realty Income. Realty Income is a massive REIT with over 15,450 properties in all 50 US states and even some outside of it. Now, one of the main reasons I've always loved Realty Income is the fact that it pays a dividend monthly. Realty Income also, in my opinion, definitely has the potential to move up in price over time. But on top of that, just like ADC, by investing into Realty Income, you are getting exposure to some of the top clients, top tenants across the world. Realty Income also invests heavily in retail commercial real estate, which I'm a huge fan of. And with other stats like Realty Income's occupancy historically, this REIT is just about as safe and as strong as it comes. Now, Realty Income, along with the rest of the REITs, has had a rough past few years, down 23.14% of the last 5 years, and definitely right in the last year or so. But long-term, Realty Income has grown quite substantially, not even including dividends. And I personally think, I could be wrong, but I personally think that looking back in history 5-10 years from now, investors like myself are going to kick themselves and say, why did I not lock in more Realty Income with a starting yield of around 6%? Almost a 6% forward yield with a single stock that has the potential to grow on top of that. Now, Realty Income, of course, pays a dividend monthly and also has paid more and more in dividends over the years. For example, when I first started buying Realty Income around 5 or 6 years ago, personally, Realty Income was paying around 21 cents per share per month. And as of right now, Realty Income is paying over 26 cents per share per month, which I get it, that might not seem like all that much, but considering I've stacked up over 2,800 shares, it definitely has been amazing so far. Now, for all those reasons and more, Realty Income would definitely have to be in my personal bunch of three if I were to have to choose 3 different monthly paying dividend stocks to hold on to forever. So those are my 3 favorite single stocks that do pay dividends monthly and that I personally hold across my portfolios as of right now. Now, I've jokingly said that monthly paying dividend stocks and ETFs are better than quarterly, and of course it's all the same difference if a stock or ETF pays monthly or quarterly for the most part, but if you're an investor that is looking to use their dividends and either live off of them, or if you just want more cash flow a lot sooner, I think monthly paying dividend stocks or ETFs can be really beneficial to invest into. But now lastly, I want to hear from you guys down below. If I were to ask you, what are your favorite single stocks that pay dividends monthly, which 3 would they be? Drop the ticker symbols in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.